r/ask Reddit. What's the stupidest thing you've heard a person say aloud in public? Pigs don't have blood. My co-worker trying to explain his belief that pigs don't have a heart, blood, or veins, which is why they're white meat. Wait, so then beef is red meat because it's full of blood, and chickens don't have blood either? What about dark meat? Do chickens have blood in their legs? These are important questions that your co-worker needs to address for us. Dark meat is animals from the shadow realm. Phones don't run on electricity, they run on batteries. Sit in that condescending ugh. This is so obvious voice. I don't even understand why we need cows when we can just get milk from the supermarket. When I was a kid and my mom would say we didn't have the money for something, I would tell her to just go to the bank and get some. Seemed so obvious to 5-year-old me. I've probably heard worse at some point, but I remember sitting in a Starbucks on campus and this girl was telling this guy about her trip to Italy, and at one point the guy goes, "So where do you want to go next?" And she says, "I've never been to Europe before, so hopefully that. LOL. Yeah, Europe is right in front of the UK, just out of reach. It's hard to miss. We are leaving the EU, not relocating to another continent." A bit late to the party, but I heard a woman explain to another woman how planes don't actually fly from America to Europe. They just hang in the sky motionless while the earth moves below them, until Europe appears and then they land. Edit. Wow, this blew up. Also thanks for the silver and gold. Imagine a debate between this woman and a flat earther. I just imagined it. It was troubling. Edit. Thanks for silver, kind stranger. Since when has anyone died from getting stabbed? What are you gonna do? Stab me? Stabbed man. Julius Caesar. Breastfeeding is unnatural. Girl in my year 11 health class. It is if your breasts aren't hungry. That's when you gotta make little airplane noises and fly the spoon into them. Edit. Gracious. Co-worker at my old job while we were setting up for Black Friday. It's pretty crazy that Black Friday actually falls on a Friday this year. Tell them that Halloween falls on a Friday 13th this year. P. Why did I just look at my calendar? On the bus full of high school students. She's half Asian, half Chinese. And, don't leave us hanging. What about the other half? Half human. I heard two girls talking about baking when one said she wanted to try baking a bread at home, but she didn't know how to make the crust of the bread. She also said she was thinking about baking the crust only because she liked it more than the rest of the bread. She truly thought that the crust was made separately. There is a Japanese bread in which the crust is made separate from a different dough, but that probably wasn't the case. P. Chickens are not animals. They shit eggs, said a friend who was trying to explain how she can eat poultry and be vegan at the same time. Edit for the people who want to give her the benefit of the doubt. This woman is 24 years old today and I've known her for 10 years. We went to high school together. I once had to convince this woman that she is in fact 22, not 21. She thought she was 21 and it took me and a team of 4 other people and her to prove to her mathematically that she is 22 years of age. But did she eat eggs? Vegan police inbound to confiscate her superpowers. I was in line at a KFC when the guy in front of me asked, "How many pieces of chicken are in a 15-piece bucket?" 13. 5. Edit. Thanks for the silver, kind stranger. Yeah, it's a legit question. I'm vegan but I still eat chicken and turkey, so can I get the Cuban, a sandwich with pulled pork and ham, made with turkey instead of the ham? Me. Sure. So do you want me to take the pulled pork off, or make it with double turkey? No, leave that on. Me. Visible confusion. Okay. He comes back later with his lady all mad saying he wants a new sandwich because he didn't know pulled pork was from pig and he doesn't eat pig because he's vegan. I also forgot to mention the sandwich comes with cheese. He didn't complain about that part. It honestly breaks my brain that people can become vegan without actually knowing what foods are made from animals. Not even obscure things like gelatin or hidden dairy content, but meat. A lot of people think being vegetarian means you eat fish and chicken, which is ridiculous, obviously. Edit. A lot of y'all are confused, but a good chunk of you got it. For those of you who don't, here goes. Pescatarian, omnivore who eats fish, dairy, eggs. Vegetarian, omnivore who eats dairy and eggs. Vegan, herbivore who consumes no animal product or byproduct. This often extends past food consumption. Most vegans seek to purchase exclusively vegan items when purchasing clothes, shoes, shampoos, makeup, etc. The majority of vegans that I know try their best to be aware and minimize their carbon footprint as much as possible too. If you eat chicken but abstain from all other animal products, I guess you could call yourself polo-vegetarian or something similar. When I worked in Congress, I frequently gave tours of the Capitol. As I was wrapping up the tour, one of the constituents asked me to explain the difference between the Capitol and the White House. Okay, sure, not everyone is knowledgeable about American government. I gave them a quick explanation and figured it would be sufficient. Nope, I was clearly mistaken. I then proceeded to listen to this person loudly proclaim that I was incorrect and that the White House is the same thing as the Capitol. Bruh. Curious. What is the difference? Edit. I know what the White House is, just didn't know the Capitol. Edit 2. How do I mute a thread because I'm getting 400 versions of the same answer? Mayo. The Capitol is a building where both chambers of Congress are situated, the House of Representatives and the Senate. The White House is the residence and place of work of the President of the United States. Edit. People confusing Capitol with Capitol. I got 400 days absence in a year but still passed high school. Friend dropped this when we were measuring dongs on how we got away with things. Edit. We were in the metro and some white collars around us woke up from their autopilot mode and nautically laughed. Edit 2. He made it clear it was days, not hours. This sounds like an updated version of the Four Yorkshiremen sketch. Luxury. During World War II history class, a girl actually thought the front line was a piece of rope held by the troops. What a deadly game of tug of war. Does myself count? I was shopping with my spouse after our child was born. We were in the baby aisle. She picked up a bottle of baby oil, which prompted me to ask aloud, wait, baby oil is actually for babies? A woman who had been walking into the aisle laughed audibly and immediately walked away. Go to flush the system and replace the fluids every 3-5 months. Newer models don't need as much maintenance. What's a good viscosity for higher millage babies? Does an egg get boiled before or after it comes out of the chicken? Oh my god. Ava Karabatic. Saint, Donut gave me a hint that it's my own country, but the second one definitely rang a bell. I've heard it countless times. I'd love to have more self-confidence in other people. I don't care about logic. I agree. Shortly after 9/11 my wife and I were in the UK. On the way home, the customs officer at the airport was dead serious. Officer, are you a US citizen? Wife, yes. Officer, it says here you were born in New Mexico. So when did you become a US citizen? Wife, at birth. New Mexico is in the US. Officer, no it isn't. It's in Mexico. That's why it has Mexico in the name. Just like New York is in York, which is in the UK. When I lived in Washington, D.C., so many waiters bartenders from outside the area would tell me they couldn't take foreign IDs because they didn't know what District of Columbia was. One even tried to keep my license permanently for trying to use a really stupid fake. Why Harry Potter isn't a book, it's a movie. Isn't that a video game? Ivory comes from elephants. Ebony comes from rhinoceroses. Me. Ebony is a type of wood. God. You're dumbus. Me. Edit, just so there is no confusion. Not my SO. You're both wrong. They both come from pianos. They live together in perfect harmony. Whilst on Thailand I had someone say I don't like it. There are just too many Asians here. Did they exclaim it loudly in a crowded room? In retaliation for 9/11 we should bomb the Taj Mahal. Birds are mammals, right? No, they're birds. I know, but they're still mammals, right? I heard some people debating whether birds were mammals or primates. Eater. Wow. Thanks for the gold. Depends if it's plucked or not. My friend has said two of the stupidest things I've ever heard. We were discussing climate change solutions in class and she says, can't we fill a hot air balloon with all the carbon dioxide and send it into space? And regarding deforestation, why don't we just clone fully grown trees? I have a very similar one. Why don't we build a really long steel pipe to space? We can put our CO2 in it and the vacuum would suck it out. And why don't we raise satellites with long steel poles instead of spending millions on rockets? He had a thing for long steel poles. He also thought steel was infinitely strong and the only thing keeping humanity from building kms high buildings was the cost. Edit. He absolutely was not talking about space elevators. He was talking about a long pole on the ground being raised by holding it from one end and sticking a satellite to the other end. Well, he seems to understand the concept of a space elevator, just with the wrong material. Where are your extra medium dog sweaters? I would love to see an extra medium dog though. Standing at the foot of the Jesus statue in Rio de Janeiro, I heard an American ask his tourist guide, "Are these mountains natural or man-made?" Well, they say that faith can't move mountains, so maybe it was a joint effort. Completely natural, just like Mount Rushmore. My gym has just refinished the men's locker room. It came out that there would only be personal showers, not community ones. I overheard two gentlemen in their 60s 70s. This is all because of the millennials. What are millennials? Younger people. You know they've never been in the army or navy. Separate shower stalls so we can eat our goddamn avocados in private. Edit. Thank you for the gold and silver. Kind avocado eaters. Red heart. In my days you weren't a real man unless you were in a gangbang in the community showers at least once a month. Earth is flat because if it would be round, then it would bounce. Two grandmas talking in France. Well, there is definitely more wind ever since the fall of the Berlin Wall. They were dead serious. I heard that as a kid and I still laugh at it. I would have asked them if they remembered the archaic windy days of pre-wall Germany. Not me, but my dad has heard. I set out all these bird feeders and bird baths but not one bird comes to my yard. I bet it is all those pesticides that crop duster is laying down in the field. Local school board member. As they were standing in her 5-acre yard with 20 or more cats running around. So in actuality, she just established a very elaborate bird trap. Question. A recent poll shows that 1/5 of Americans can't locate the US on a world map. Why do you think this is? Answer. I personally believe that US Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education like such as in South Africa and the Iraq everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should our education over here, and the US should help the US and should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries so we are able to build up our future. They need to hear this one. Ms. South Carolina in her defense. They apparently asked a different question than what she was told to prepare for. Being nervous, on the spot, and blindsided by the question, she just didn't react well. I know nothing else about her, but I try not to judge her too much on this 30 seconds of her life. Forgot about that gem. Heard on a crowded bus. She's half white, half black and half Chinese. I swear I could almost hear everyone within earshot collectively facepalm. Half man, half bear, half pig, man bear pig. I don't understand why I need to be on time for work. Boss, you don't have to be here anytime anymore. Wait, so I can just sit around all day at home and still get paid? No, you're fired. Traveling back from Berlin to the UK, I was sat next to a couple whose conversation had me wondering if I was being secretly recorded. Woman to her husband. I wish we had managed to get to the beach and the seaside in Berlin. It looks so lovely from up here. Do you think we'll go over the channel on the way home? I'd prefer to go around and travel overland all the way. Is this Snowdon we're going over now? We're descending into Manchester. I think this is the same cloud we went through on our way out. OMG, that last one. I have posted this before, but I went to college in a small town and every Thursday they would have a mobile DMV. When I had to get my license renewed, they were having trouble with the internet. The woman in charge instructed the other woman working there to shake out all the wires because sometimes the information gets clogged up in them. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.